And let's come to the mat. Good morning, everyone. Again, this is a gentle back class. We're going to be focusing on just relaxing and some gentle stretches, gentle strengthening for the back. So let's come to the mat, onto your back. If you have trouble laying on your back, we're going to be on our backs for a couple of minutes. If you have trouble with that, feel free to put a pillow or even just a thin towel or blanket under the small of your back if that helps to support your back a little bit. And bend your knees, take your feet wide on the mat, and let the knees just float in together so that they are leaning against each other. Take your fingers under your hips, lift them up just a little bit, push the skin down on your hips, helps to roll the pelvis forward and get the small of the back a little closer to the mat, a little bit more comfortable. Close your eyes, let your hands just be loose at the side of your body. Begin to slow the mind and thoughts and just come to an awareness of your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Just relaxed breathing at this point. Slow the mind down. Just feeling the cool air coming in at the tip of the nose, filling the chest cavity and the warm air as it exits. Relax your jaw, your shoulders. If you'd like to set an intention for your class today, do so now. And we're just going to take a few relaxed, deep breaths through the nose again. Let's start through the lower part of the body as we inhale. Allow the air to expand the sides of our chest wall. Finally coming up to the top of the lungs. And then exhale in reverse, first from the top, the sides, the belly. And repeat, just do a few of these slow breaths at your own pace. Just consciously breathing, noticing the process. Slowing it down to a comfortably slow pace. Noticing any tensions in the body and maybe breathing into those as you relax. And continue with the deep breathing. Take one more. When you're ready, you can open the knees. Let's just start slowly windshield wipering the knees side to side. Hands out at the side just for a little bit of stability. Nice and slow, really noticing, letting the hip bones roll back and forth here, side to side rather. It's beginning to awaken the lower part of the body. Continuing to breathe. When you're ready, extend your legs. Let's take our arms out ahead of our head as well and do a nice stretch, kicking the heels out, pulling with the hands. Relax the jaw, just feeling a nice stretch. And then you can release the hands. Now keeping the feet with them flexed, just going to rotate the straight legs with the feet flexed, just side to side, noticing the whole leg rotating from your hip bone to your foot. It's okay if the body gets into it as well. Just relaxing, stay relaxed. Couple more. And then come to center. Now cross the right foot over the left. We're going to do the same thing at the ankle rather. So we're just crossing at the ankle. Now we're going to roll. Maybe you need to use the hands, shoulders a little bit more here. Keeping the jaw relaxed, rolling from side to side. Noticing how the back feels, how the hips feel. Maybe even the upper back, the shoulders. Now uncross, do the other leg over now, whichever one you had on top. I have my left foot on top of my right now. Same thing. Noticing if anything feels differently. Continuing to breathe, very relaxed. Now uncross your feet. Now stack your right heel over your left toe. So my feet are stacked and I'm going to roll from there. Noticing how that feels. A little more awkward, but it's a little deeper roll. And breathe. And come to center, reverse the feet. So now I have my left heel stacked on my right toes, to bend my toes a little bit there to get that to work. And then just roll. Again, noticing the difference. Maybe one hip is a little tighter than the other. Of course, tightness in our hips causes so much lower back pain, as well as sometimes the upper thighs. And come to center. Let's bring our knees in over our chest. Give ourselves a little hug. Bring the small of the back to the floor. Just a little rolling around here on this with some circles one way and the other way. Bring the feet down, hands to the floor, lift the hips and do a little shimmy. One of my favorite of back looseners, lift them up again, another shimmy. And down one more time, lift the hips, shimmy it out. Bringing the right knee up towards the body and extending the left leg. Let's clasp our fingers, interlock our fingers in front of the right shin and begin to gently pull that knee towards your shoulder, not over the body, but towards the right knee, towards the right shoulder for a nice stretch. You can kick out that bottom leg heel if you'd like for a deeper stretch and breathe into it as we relax. Now check your neck and your jaw. And when you're ready, bend the left leg, which has been straight, and put your ankle over, your right ankle over the left thigh, just coming to this sort of four configuration and just a little stretch here, maybe encouraging with your right hand that knee to go out a little bit, just to get a stretch. Nothing that should be hurt hurting or painful, just a stretch and breathe. Feel free to do a little moving here, little jiggles, nice and loose. If you're comfortable with that and you'd like to go a little deeper, you can bring your hands to the back of the leg and bring the foot off the floor over the body, a little deeper into this stretch. Relax your shoulders. Can even bring the fingers in front of the shin if you would like. It's a little deeper. It just depends, yeah, where your body is. If you're having trouble with this, with your head pulling up, feel free to put a towel or a brick under your head to support it, because we don't want the neck to be strained at this point. Really feeling this in that whole sciatica area there and the deep hip. Breathing. Release the foot back to the floor, but keep the feet, the right leg crossed. With your hands at the side of your body for support, let's just start still in this sort of call it the fours leg position. Let's just start taking little deeper rolls side to side. Just rolling that left leg. And it can be bent or straight. I'm bending it a little bit. I think it helps with the roll. And just getting a little bit more. Maybe coming over the whole way so that the knee touches on one side and the foot on the other, if that works for you, but just going as far as you're feeling a nice opening. A couple more of these. And come back to center. Now we're going to, I have my right leg bent and my right ankle with my right ankle over my left leg. I'm going to bring my hands over my head, roll over towards my left, and roll over onto my chest, keeping those legs bent. If it is available, go as far as you can. And just coming in for a nice little stretch here. That leg is still bent. I'm sort of supporting my head. If this twist works for you, or only go as far as you can. Let's roll back onto our backs, uncross our legs, lift the hips, give them a little shimmy. We'll do the other side. Now extend the right leg and bring the left leg up if you've been doing the same sides as me. Interlock your fingers, encouraging that left knee towards the left shoulder or outside the body. Relax the hips and your jaw. Breathe. If you want to flex the foot of the straight leg, the right leg, you can. Makes a little deeper stretch in the groin area. When you're ready, we're going to bring now the left ankle over the left knee. Again, moving your hip skin around as needed to keep the small of the back close or on the floor so that we're not arching. Working that knee open. Finding a nice stretch here. Staying here if you'd like, or if you'd like to go deeper and it works for your body, you can lift the right foot off the floor, interlock your fingers behind the right thigh. And coming in a little closer to the torso, feeling a little bit more of a release. Possibly I'm feeling it the outside of that bent left leg, thigh area, outer thigh. moving the fingers to the front of the shin, if that is available. That might be too strong. No pressure, just find the stretch that is feels most appropriate for your body today. And breathe. Relax your shoulders. Again, using that brick if you need to behind your head. When you're ready, release the foot back to the floor, hands to the side, and let's start rotating side to side, keeping the leg in that fours position. Breathing. Maybe noticing how one leg feels a little different than the other, one hip different than the other. And coming back to center, raising the hands over the head. If it is available, we're going to go now to the right side, rolling over onto our belly, our chest, whatever, from the right, and just coming into this, I guess you'd call it a twist. It's a bit of a stretch. If it's too strong, just come back to your back and stay in the fours leg position and stretch. Another breath here. And then let's press up to the back of the body. Lift the hips and a little shimmy. Bringing both legs up now over your body. And bring your hands, spread your knees so that they're nice and wide. Hands on the inside of the legs, maybe grabbing your shin here, doing some little movements, some little spirals with the knees or whatever, just to get a little opening here, breathing. If it is available and comfortable, grabbing the inside of your feet with your hands and opening up into our happy baby pose. If this is too strong, just keep the hands at the thighs and work that stretch from whatever point is most comfortable. Now we want the feet to be over the knees so that we have sort of a the feet are flexed and parallel to the floor, I guess. You can feel free to do some little movements here, little roly-polies a little bit if you'd like. Breathing, maybe feeling as you hold this position, you can open a little wider. Maybe the knees a little closer to the floor. Happy baby is a relaxation pose. It's one of those poses that's a good thing to do when you're stressed or before bed. You can hold it for a couple of minutes if you'd like. And let's slowly release out of it. Bring the feet slowly down to the floor. Lift the hips, do a little shimmy. Now bring the feet back up off the floor with your hands behind your thighs. We're going to do a little bit of spinal rolls. Now, if you have issues with your spine, like or disc issues or osteoporosis in your neck or the spine, I would recommend you being very careful here, perhaps avoiding it. It just depends on your situation. We're going to do a little bit of a plow, which is bringing the feet over the head. I would definitely not recommend this if you have neck issues. You can just do some gentle spinal rolls. If you're good otherwise, let's just start moving the feet as I'm doing and lifting just the hips off the floor. Then when you're comfortable, tuck the chin to the chest. We want to keep the chin tucked so that we keep a nice rounded spine and we're not slapping the back. We're just gently rolling on along the length of the spine. Now, when you're ready, if you'd like, you can come back and keep the feet behind the floor, behind your head. Bring your elbows in close to the body and make paddles out of your hands with the thumb and the fingers together, not with the thumbs around your hip bones, but be supporting the back, lower back with your hands. If this is not comfortable, feel free to do not do it. I have my legs soft. Your feet don't have to be on the floor. In fact, you can put them on a chair. You can support them with a brick. Keep your gaze forward towards your belly button. Do not look right or left. If your feet come to the floor, that's fine. Just continue to support the small of the back with your hands and keeping those elbows close in towards the body. This is Halasana, plow pose. When we're ready to release, we soften the legs, bending them. Bring the hands now to the floor. Slowly, slowly roll out the hips until the sacrum is on the floor. When the sacrum is on the floor, that's the part between your hip bones. Then bend your knees, bring the feet one at a time to the floor. Feel free to do a little windshield wipers here with the knees, lift and shaking out. And breathe. Slowly rolling the head side to side. And when you're ready, let's do some more rolls and come up to sitting. Couple of nice long rolls. And come up to a seated position. With your hands on your knees, let's close our eyes. Let's do a few neck rolls. Inhale to the right. Relax your shoulders. Exhale to the other side. Inhale again. And exhale down the other side. And as before, if you have had neck issues, keep the head forward of the shoulders. Inhale, protecting the neck. And exhale. Let's go the other way. Now inhale to your right. Excuse me, to your left. And exhale. Relax the jaw. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Bringing your hands up to the shoulders. Let's just do some nice shoulder circles. Sitting up nice and tall. Going the other way now. Relax your jaw, keeping the chin level with the floor. Release and shake it out. One shoulder up and down. Shrug the other shoulder and down. Up, down. Just single shoulder shrugs. Bringing the hands now to the ears. We're going to go from side to side. Inhale, exhale to the other side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Few more. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders, elbows open, shoulders back. And come back to center. Now go the other way. Couple more. And come to center. Close the elbows, roll out the back into our sort of cat position. Then open and looking up to the sky, chest open, and then close. Open, close, open, really feeling the space between the shoulder blades, stretching and making space. Now coming to center, let's do some figure eights with still having our hands at our ears. Go one way and the other way. And just moving that whole upper back area and come back to center. Drop your left hand to the floor, reach to the sky with the other hand, come back to center with the ears, drop the other hand, reach, pressing down with the opposite hip as you reach. So I'm going to reach with this hand, pressing down with the opposite hip, gazing past that hand, and again to the other side. Let's do a few more of these. Come back to center, reach and look, back to center, reach and look, keeping the chin safely tucked, still following with the eyes. One more, and back to center. One last thing, let's do some more circles, figure eights rather, with the ears, and then let's shake it out. Coming back to our mat, we're going to roll down onto our back again with your feet bent. Let's straighten the left leg. Hands are at our side. I have my right knee bent, and I'm going to come up off of my heel with that right foot. And I'm going to, you have to move your legs around a little bit to make space. I'm going to drop that knee into the center and then drop it out. Drop it into the center. Drop it out. So just sort of one-legged wipers. Relax the shoulders. And then lifting the foot off the floor, that bent knee, let's do some circles with that. Go one way and some circles the other way with the knee and come back to center. Taking the leg, that bent leg again, this is, my left leg is straight, my right leg is bent. I'm taking my toe and doing toe tap to the other side and then out. Toe tap the outside of the left leg, tap on the right. Just tapping, letting the hip roll. A couple more of these taps. Then on the last time, keep the foot over there and lift the foot and the knee together. Just some little lifts and down. I'm not touching the floor, but I'm just lifting the whole leg up and down. And breathe. Roll back to center. Bring the knees together, little shimmies in between. And now we'll do the other side. So first, we're going to do the windshield wipers. Let the left knee drop in and then to the outside of the body, lifting that heel and coming up onto the toe, sort of pivoting on your toe here. This leg is definitely tighter than the other, or hip rather. Breathe. And then come to center. Now the toe taps over the leg and back, tap the outside and the other side, letting the hip roll as you're tapping. And then on the last time, we're going to leave that leg over there, lift the whole leg and down, up and down, lift, lift, 2 more, lift, and come back to center. 1 more shimmy. Grab your brick, and let's put the brick between your knees. Bring your feet up off the floor. Hands are at our side. Squeeze the brick, engage your core. Move your skin away from your hips down a little bit so that the small of your back is in contact with the floor. And we're just going to start rolling from side to side. Now, engage your core. This is core work, which is also very important for the back, to have that support. We're just going to start rolling, maybe out about a 45-degree angle, as far as is comfortable for you, that you can keep that engagement, the small of the back with the floor, and pulling the legs back up into the center. As you go along, maybe going a little deeper on each side. Engage your core. Use your core. Don't use your chin or whatever. We tend to use our chin for a lot of things that we shouldn't. The neck is a very delicate joint. At some point, if it's available to you, maybe going the whole way over to the floor, keeping the arms out for support. Maybe going a little deeper. Wherever you feel that engagement, you feel that you're working the core well, use that. Let's do 1 more each side. Engage that core, keep the knees up over the belly, and then keep the brick between your feet, but bring the feet down. Hands alongside of your hips with your hands down for support. Slightly pigeon toe your feet. Squeeze that brick and keep your gaze forward, and let's lift the hips up. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the hips, squeeze the brick. Squeeze, 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 lift, 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 and release down. We're going to do a few of these. Press through the big toes, engage your core and squeeze your glutes. Come up, little back strengthening here, and release. Inhale, lift up again. Let's hold this for a couple of breaths. And nice, also this is a nice little back bend as well, gentle. Squeeze and release. Bring the brick to the side, roll over, and let's come to sitting. Okie dokie. Coming back into our seated position, let's bring our arms up so that we're sort of have cactus arms. Make a fist, drop 1 arm so that it's sort of an S looking kind of thing. We're going to flip them. Keep the fist, pulling back on those shoulders and elbows, opening, working the shoulders, upper arms, relax the jaw. And keep your gaze forward, really feeling this in the upper back. Couple more. Opening of the chest and the shoulders. Okay, shrug it out. Let's interlock the fingers. Do some wrist rolls, finger rolls. Press it out and round out your back. And release, turn the hands the other way. Same thing. And come back to sitting, shake it out. Taking your feet, flexing them and placing them under your knee as close as you can, sort of like so. So I have sort of a triangle opening amongst my legs here. I'm moving my skin away from my hip bones so I have a nice firm foundation of both hips with the floor. Sitting up nice and tall, opening the heart space, shoulders back. Inhale, bringing the arms up, reaching, finding space in the side of the rib cage, coming forward, hinging from the hips. We're not rounding the back, and hinging as far forward as we can without rounding the back. And then bring the hands to the floor and finding that stretch. We're not trying to touch the head to the floor. Getting nice space in the spine, between the ribs and the back of the body. Breathing, relax your jaw and your neck. Maybe inching your fingers forward as you feel a little bit of release. Maybe not. It's up to you. Finding that opening. Lengthening the spine. Lengthening the space in the back of the body. When you're ready, let's work the hands back, come back to seating. Now, whichever leg is in front, switch them and put the other leg in front. Flex the feet, put them under the knees or thereabouts. Same thing, move your skin away from your sits bones. Settle in, inhale, arms rise. Lots of reaching, reaching, reaching. And exhale, hinging forward from the hips, keeping those hips grounded down. Hands come to the floor and find your stretch. Relax your chin and breathe. Again, maybe inching the fingers forward, finding a little bit more space. I really feel this in my very lower back, hip area, but also feeling it in the sides of my rib cage as I stretch to find a little bit more opening. And release, working our way back up to a seated position. Bringing now our feet together as much as possible, coming into our Baddha Konasana. And bringing the feet in as close to the body as is comfortable. If you know, just wherever that is comfortable, hands on the feet. And we're just going to flutter the knees gently, keeping our gaze forward, our chin in line with the floor. Gentle opening. And you can release from that. Extend one leg out to the side with the foot flexed. Keep the other one in towards the body, maybe opening the angle between the legs to a little bit more than a 90-degree angle. Again, moving my skin away from my sits bones so I'm nice and grounded, flexing that foot and feeling a connection of this leg with the floor. Inhale, the arms rise, find that space, drop the extended leg arm to the floor behind it and reach over towards that foot. Keep your chin soft and tucked, and we're stretching this area between the ribs and the hip bone, commonly a cause of a lot of back pain, especially if you do a lot of sitting. If you can touch your toes, that's fine. It's really not about that. It's about finding that stretch and release. Shake it out. Let's do the other side. Now extend the other leg, bring the other foot in, a little bit more than a 90-degree angle if it's possible. Move your sits bones around, ground in, arms up, and exhale, dropping the one arm to the floor for support, tucking that chin and reaching, finding the stretch in this part of the body. And breathe. And inhale, coming back up. Coming into a 90, I call it 90s legs. So the front leg, and you're just going to have to play with this a little bit. The front leg is somewhat parallel with the front of the mat. Back leg is, the thigh is somewhat parallel to this front leg. Now, for some of you, you might have to go a little tighter. Open as much as you can. Try to find your balance here using the hands and finding this position. If possible, having the foot of the back leg in line with the knee. Inhale, bring the arms up, and then exhale, we're going to bring one arm to the floor outside of that front knee, then bring the other arm to the floor, coming down as low as we can. If we can bring both elbows down and drop the head, or finding your stretch there wherever, as far as your arms can go. And breathe. Couple more breaths here. And then bringing your arms in towards the body. Now we're going to reverse and go to the other side. Now bring the other foot so that it is parallel with the front of the mat. The back thigh is parallel with this front leg, and the bottom foot, if possible, is in line with your knee. Moving your skin around, finding your balance. Inhale, the arms rise. Exhale, drop the outer arm, reach with the inner arm, and find your position, whether your elbows are down, whether you're just reaching. Drop the head if it's available to you. You can even rest, frankly, the head on the hand if you'd like. I like to reach for a little bit more of a stretch. Relax the neck. One more breath. And exhale, press yourself up. Let's roll over onto our knees and come into a downward facing dog. So spread your fingers nice and wide with the fingers somewhat facing forward. Tuck your toes, lift the knees, and come into our dog. Just a few breaths here. Do some wiggles and jiggles. Shake the head yes and no. Strong arms pressing the whole way up, pressing the hips up to the sky for a nice release of the back. A nice stretch through the entire back of the body. Maybe coming up on the toes as you inhale. Maybe exhale, pressing the heels towards the mat for a nice stretch. And on your next exhale, let's drop the knees and come into our child pose. Using whatever props you need. If you need a brick under the head or any of the other modifications we've talked about, feel free to do so and breathe. Relax your shoulders, keep your jaw relaxed. Now, when you're ready, let's press up. Keep the knees wide. I'm going to turn to the side here. And you can too if you'd like on your mat. We're going to come into a frog pose. People with sensitive knees, this may or may not work for you. I've heard some people say this helps their knees. I've heard some people say it's not good for their knees. We're just going to go wide with the feet, with the knees, excuse me, with the feet in line, the ankles in line with the knees. Coming down, if it's available to you, onto your forearms, finding your stretch. You can use a brick here if it's more comfortable to put your arms on the brick. You can certainly do that. That feels nice. And just taking a few breaths. I'm rocking gently back and forth. Obviously, this is a strong stretch, so just be gentle here. And when you're ready, press yourself up, bring your knees together, and let's roll over onto our bellies. And take your, I have to lift my head up a little bit here so you can hear me, but keep your head down onto the floor. Bring your hands ahead of you, feet extended behind. First of all, let's just do a stretch from this position. Kicking out the heels, stretching with the hands, maybe rolling the hips a little bit, making ourselves an inch taller, and release. So bringing the hands, just the hands, along the floor to the side of your body, like to my shoulders. And then I'm going to move them back up. Bring them down. I'm lifting my head up just so that you can hear me a little better. You keep your head down and up, working the shoulders here, sliding the hands along the body, trying to keep the elbows down. Now this time, let's do from the top, let's do snow angels with the arms out and straight, down along the body, and then coming up nice and slow so that you can really feel the hands touching any tightness maybe in the arms or the shoulders. And then let's bring the arms into the shoulders again, hands on the floor, elbows on the floor, and go out at an angle again, trying to keep the forearm on the floor, which is not as easy if you have shoulder issues as it may look. I have this one shoulder that devils me. One more. And down. Shrug your shoulders and let's extend the hands again. Well, this time we're going to lift just the feet behind us and do like swimming legs. So point your toes, keep your head and your arms down, but we're just going to swim with the legs, swim, 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 engage your glutes, squeeze your glutes and down. Roll your hips out a little bit. One more time, lift the feet off the floor, strengthening the lower back, squeeze those glutes,
and down. Roll it out. One more time. Lift the feet. Swim those legs and down. Now we're going to do the hands and the head. So lift the head and the hands. Swim and down. Inhale, lift, swim, strong, strong back, and down. Lift the head, really working those muscles, the upper part of the spine, and down. Now we're going to do it all. Lift the feet, the head, and the hands. Swim, 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 legs and arm, using all those muscles, and down. Two more. Inhale, lift up, swim, 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 and down. One last time. Inhale, lift, swim, 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 and down. Bringing your hands together so that I'm making like a little diamond with my fingers. Put my forehead in there. Lifting my feet and putting them together with my knees still spread behind me. This one's a little tough, but we're just going to do as much as you can. We're going to lift the feet so that the knees come off the floor. Now, and then down. So your knees may not come up very far. It doesn't matter. We're using those muscles. Engage your glutes. Inhale, lift, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those feet together and down. One more. Engage your glutes, squeeze the feet, lift, and down. Windshield wiper your legs side to side. And bring the legs down. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, fingers spread in front of you, coming into our Sphinx pose, gentle back bend. I'm rolling my hips side to side. Relax the shoulders. Shoulders are under your elbows are under your shoulders. Gaze is forward. Nice and tall Sphinx. And when we're ready, we're going to push back, cross our feet behind us, lay onto our back. Bring our knees up over the body. Give ourselves a nice little Apanasana, a little hug here of the knees. Hands to the floor, bring your feet down to the floor. Let's do a little shimmy, lift the hips, shimmy it out. Do it again. One last time, lift and shimmy. And let's prepare for our Shavasana, extending your legs if you'd like. If you'd like to end as we began with your feet wide and your knees in towards each other, leaning on each other, certainly can do that. Checking your legs, your feet, your hips for any tension. Rolling the head from side to side. Release the shoulders into the floor. Hands can be palm up or palm down, whichever feels most comfortable to you. Check your belly. Close your eyes. Return to normal breathing and enjoy.
Coming back to the awareness of your breath and wiggling your toes and your fingers. Rolling your chin from side to side. Rolling over onto your side with your knees bent, taking a moment on your side. And when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed for another moment, bringing your hands to your heart. Coming back to the intention, if you set one at the beginning of the class, surrounding it in the love and the light and the energy of your practice today, sending it out into the world. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Have a lovely and peaceful and joyous week. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week. Let me know if you have any questions or anything comes up. Always good to hear from you. Thank you, everyone.